Picture this. You've built something incredible from the ground up. You've poured your heart, soul, and every penny you have into it. And along the way, you've brought people up with you, your family, your friends. You share the success, you share the wealth. You think you've created a loyal, tight-knit circle? But what happens when you turn off the money tap? That's the story I'm about to tell you. It's a story about loyalty, betrayal, and the shocking truth of human nature when greed takes over. For years, I was the provider, the one everyone turned to, need a loan for a new car. I'm your guy. Want to start a business but don't have the capital. Here you go. Fancy vacation. My treat. I never thought twice about it. These were the people I loved and trusted. I saw their success as my success. We were a team, or so I thought. I was so proud to see them thrive, living in nice houses, driving luxury cars, all while I was working behind the scenes, making sure the engine of our shared prosperity kept running. The business I built was my entire life. It started as a small idea, a dream I chased relentlessly. Late nights turned into early mornings. I sacrificed holidays, birthdays, and personal time. Every success was hard-won. As the company grew, the profits started to roll in, and my first instinct was to share. I put relatives on the payroll, gave friends positions they weren't necessarily qualified for, and handed out money like it was just paper. I wanted everyone to have a taste of the good life. I genuinely believed that by lifting them up, I was building a fortress of loyalty around me. I felt like the patriarch of a grateful family, a benevolent leader. But then the market shifted. A storm I didn't see coming hit my industry, and it hit hard. Profits plummeted. Contracts were canceled. Suddenly, the endless river of cash slowed to a trickle. I had to make some tough decisions to keep the company afloat, to save the very thing that was supporting everyone. This meant cutting back, and those cuts had to start at home. The lavish spending, the no questions asked handouts, the generous salaries for jobs that didn't add much value, it all had to stop. So I called a meeting. I sat them all down, my family, my closest friends, the very people I had supported for years. I laid out the situation honestly. I explained the financial challenges, the need for austerity, and the temporary end to the free-flowing cash. I expected understanding. I expected support. I expected them to say, "Don't worry, we're with you. We'll get through this together." After all, we were a team, right? What I got instead was a chilling silence, followed by a storm of outrage. The first to speak was a cousin I had helped start his own business. "What do you mean the money is stopping? I have payments to make. You can't just cut me off." His voice wasn't filled with concern for me or the company. It was filled with entitlement and anger. Then a friend whose lifestyle I had single-handedly funded for 5 years chimed in. "This is a betrayal. We relied on you. You're just going to leave us high and dry." Betrayal. I was the one feeling a knife twist in my back. The room erupted. It was a chorus of accusations and demands. No one asked how I was doing. No one offered to help. No one showed a shred of gratitude for the years of support. All they could see was their personal bank account, their comfortable lifestyle being threatened. It was like I had been living in a fantasy, and the harsh reality was a slap in the face. Their loyalty wasn't to me, it was to my wallet. The person didn't matter. The provider did. In the days that followed, it got worse. The phone calls turned nasty. They spread rumors, telling people I had mismanaged the company, that I was hoarding money for myself. People I had considered brothers and sisters were now painting me as a villain, all because I could no longer fund their dreams. The mask had slipped, and underneath was a level of greed and selfishness I never thought possible from the people I loved most. The breaking point came during a family gathering. I was there, trying to hold my head high, when one of them cornered me. In front of everyone, he began to shout, demanding I sell assets to keep paying him. He said I owed it to him. That's when something inside me snapped. All the years of sacrifice, of putting them first, of believing in their loyalty, it all crumbled. I looked him in the eye and said, "No, it's over." And then the most unbelievable thing happened. As the reality sank in that the money was truly gone, their tune changed. The anger and accusations were replaced by a desperate, pathetic kind of pleading. They started showing up at my door, one by one. The same cousin who had yelled at me was now practically on his knees, begging for forgiveness, begging for just one more handout. "I was stressed," he'd say. "I didn't mean it." The friend who called me a traitor sent tearful texts talking about our long history and how much he valued our friendship. It was a sickening performance. They weren't sorry for their betrayal. They were sorry they got caught. They were sorry their ATM had been shut down. They fell to their knees, not out of remorse, but out of desperation. It was a public spectacle of their own making, and in that moment I felt nothing but pity. Pity for their weakness, for their inability to stand on their own 2 feet, and pity for myself for being so blind for so long. Cutting them off was the hardest and best decision I ever made. The business slowly recovered because I was able to focus all my resources on saving it, not funding lifestyles, but my inner circle was decimated. I learned a brutal lesson. When you make people dependent on you, you don't earn their loyalty. You buy their compliance, and that compliance lasts only as long as the payments keep coming. So, why am I sharing this? Because I know many of you out there might be in a similar position. You might be the generous one, the giver, the one everyone relies on. Be careful. True loyalty is tested not in times of abundance, but in times of scarcity. Pay attention to who is there for you when you have nothing to offer but yourself. Those are your real people. The rest are just along for the ride. This experience changed me. It made me wiser, stronger, and more discerning about who I let into my life. The financial loss was temporary, but the lesson in human nature was priceless. If you've ever felt used or taken for granted, know that you're not alone. Sometimes you have to cut the dead weight to be able to fly. Have you ever experienced a betrayal like this? When you realized someone's loyalty was conditional, share your story in the comments below. Let's talk about it. It's important to share these experiences so we can all learn and protect ourselves. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more real-life stories, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Your support means the world. Thanks for watching.